All right, well, reports claim the White House has begun looking for a new Secretary of Defense to replace Pete Hegseth after his latest Signal chat drama. But is that what this is really about? For those of you who don't know Pete Hegseth beyond his name, let's start with a quick primer. Hegseth is a 44-year-old Army National Guard veteran who served tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, earning 2 Bronze Stars for his service. He's a Princeton grad, a conservative commentator, and was a familiar face on Fox News before President Donald Trump tapped him to lead the Department of Defense in January of 2025. His appointment raised eyebrows from the start, not because of his military credentials, but because he lacked the traditional resume of a Pentagon chief. No prior experience running a massive bureaucracy like the DoD, which oversees 1.3 million active duty troops and a nearly $900 billion budget. Critics called him a political pick, chosen for his loyalty to Trump and his alignment with the America First agenda. Supporters, on the other hand, praised his outsider status, arguing he'd shake up a bloated, woke Pentagon. Love him or hate him, Hegseth's been a lightning rod since day one. Now, let's get to the heart of the controversy that's threatening to end his tenure, the Signal chat drama. So if you're scratching your head wondering what Signal is, it's a secure encrypted messaging app, kind of like WhatsApp, but with a focus on privacy. It's popular among people who want to keep their conversations off the grid, including apparently top U.S. national security officials. So back in March of 2025, a bombshell story broke in the Atlantic magazine. Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief, revealed that he'd been accidentally added to a Signal group chat called Houthi PC Small Group, created by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. This chat included some of the biggest names in Trump's national security team: Hegseth, Vice President J.D. Vance, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, and others. The problem? Well, they were discussing highly sensitive plans for U.S. airstrikes against Houthi rebels in Yemen 2 hours before the bombs started falling on March 15th. So let's pause for a second to let that sink in. A journalist, someone who's not supposed to be anywhere near classified military plans, was privy to real-time discussions about a U.S. military operation. Now, according to Goldberg, Hegseth himself posted a team update at 11:44 a.m. that day, laying out precise details, targets, weapon systems, and the attack sequence. This wasn't just casual chatter. It was the kind of information that, if intercepted by an adversary like Iran, the Houthis' main backer, could have put American pilots at risk. Goldberg called it shockingly reckless, and he wasn't alone. Former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta told CNN it was a very serious mistake. Democratic lawmakers like Senator Schumer and Representative Pat Ryan demanded investigations, with some calling it a breach of national security. But wait, it gets worse. Just last week on April 20th, the New York Times dropped another bombshell. Hegseth was involved in a second Signal chat where he shared similar details about the Yemen strikes. This one, called Defense Team Huddle, was created by Hegseth himself on his personal phone before his confirmation. It included 13 people, among them his wife, a former Fox News producer with no official Pentagon role, his brother, a Department of Homeland Security liaison to the Pentagon, and his personal lawyer. The chat contained flight schedules for FA-18 Hornet jets tasked with striking Houthi targets, information that experts say would almost certainly be classified before the operation. So why would Hegseth share this with his family and lawyer? It's unclear. His wife has been criticized before for attending sensitive meetings with foreign leaders, like a discussion with British defense officials about Ukraine. His brother and lawyer have Pentagon roles, but there's no obvious reason they'd need to know about impending airstrikes. The Pentagon's Inspector General is now investigating both chats, and Democrats are screaming for Hegseth's head. Senator Tammy Duckworth, an Iraq War veteran, said he must resign in disgrace. Senator Minority Leader Chuck Schumer posted on X, Pete Hegseth must be fired. Even some Republicans, like Congressman Dan Bacon, have expressed concerns about Hegseth's judgment. Hegseth and the White House have pushed back hard. Hegseth claims no classified information was shared, calling the stories fake news, driven by leakers and the Trump-hating media. The White House has echoed this, saying, no matter how many times the legacy media tries to resurrect the same non-story, they can't change the fact that no classified information was shared. President Trump himself has stood by Hegseth, saying on April 21st, Pete's doing a great job. Everybody's happy with him. Ask the Houthis how he's doing. But here's where things get murky. The White House denied a report that they're searching for a new defense secretary, with spokesman Caroline Leavitt calling it total fake news. Yet the timing of these leaks and the intensity of the backlash raise questions. Why is Hegseth suddenly the target of such a coordinated media and political onslaught? To answer that, we need to look at a New York Times report from last week that's flown under the radar. A report that might reveal the real reason the knives are out for Pete Hegseth. According to the New York Times on April 14th, Hegseth was one of a few senior officials advising President Trump against authorizing a military strike on Iran. Yep, you heard that right. Hegseth, the supposed warmonger, was urging restraint. The context here is critical. Tensions with Iran have been escalating. The Houthis, Iran's proxies in Yemen, have been attacking Red Sea shipping since late 2023, disrupting global trade. Iran's nuclear program is also a growing concern, with Trump's team engaging in high-stakes talks to curb it. If those talks fail, some fear the U.S. could be pushed toward military action to stop Iran from going nuclear. Hegseth, alongside others, reportedly argued that a strike on Iran would be a dangerous escalation, potentially dragging the U.S. into another broader Middle East war. But the plot thickens, because it's not just Hegseth in the crosshairs. His closest allies are being taken out too. And if you thought the signal chat drama was bad, here's where it gets even uglier. Last week, 3 of Hegseth's top aides, Dan Caldwell, Darren Selnick, and Colin Carroll, were fired, supposedly for leaking sensitive information. But hold on. These guys, known for their realist approach to foreign policy, say the accusations are baseless. John Oliot, a former Pentagon official, backed them up in Politico, calling the firings a sham and describing a department in total collapse. These aides were vocal against war with Iran, just like Hegseth. And guess what? Their ousting comes right after that New York Times report about Hegseth urging Trump to avoid striking Iran. Coincidence? I don't think so. Posts on X are buzzing, claiming neocons and the Israeli lobby pushed these firings to clear out anti-war voices and pave the way for a Pentagon chief who will back a war with Iran. And it's looking like a page out of the 2017 playbook when General Flynn was taken down by similar tactics. This isn't just about leaks, it's about controlling the Pentagon and America's foreign policy. Now, let's connect the dots. Hegseth's dovish stance on Iran puts him at odds with a powerful force, the Israeli lobby and its allies in Washington. Israel has long viewed Iran as its top existential threat, and its government, led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has pushed for aggressive U.S. action against Tehran. The American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC, and other pro-Israel groups wield significant influence in U.S. politics, often shaping policy through lobbying campaigns, campaign contributions, and media pressure. When Trump met with Netanyahu in February of 2025, reports surfaced that Trump assured the Pentagon would not intervene if Israel struck Iran, a signal of alignment with Israel's hawkish stance. Suddenly, Hegseth's role as a voice of caution makes him a problem. The signal chat leaks, first in March and now in April, conveniently amplify calls for his removal just as the Iran debate heats up. The media frenzy, led by outlets like the New York Times and The Atlantic, both of which have ties to establishment foreign policy circles, add to that the firing of 4 senior America First Pentagon aides loyal to Hegseth, and this smells like an orchestrated hit job. So let's be clear. I'm not saying Hegseth is a saint. Sharing sensitive military details on Signal, even if not technically classified, was a bonehead move. It's the kind of mistake that would get a junior officer court-martialed, as one defense official told CNN. But the disproportionate outrage, the bipartisan pile-on, and the White House's reported search for a replacement suggest something bigger at play. The Israeli lobby and its neoconservative allies want a defense secretary who will green-light a war with Iran, not someone preaching restraint. Hegseth's America First skepticism of endless wars makes him a threat to that agenda. Think about it. The first Signal chat story broke in March, right after the Yemen strikes. It embarrassed Hegseth, but it didn't dislodge him. Now, a month later, a second chat surfaces with details that amplify the scandal. The sources? Anonymous people familiar with the matter, often disgruntled ex-employees, according to Hegseth's team. The Pentagon's leak investigation, which Hegseth himself has championed, conveniently targets his inner circle, weakening his position. And the media, from the New York Times to NPR, frames it as a national security crisis, ignoring Hegseth's role in averting a far bigger crisis with Iran. So where does this leave us? Hegseth is hanging on by a thread, backed by Trump, but facing a growing chorus of critics. The Signal chat drama is real and it's sloppy, but it's being weaponized to serve a larger agenda. The Israeli lobby, frustrated by Trump's hesitation on Iran, sees Hegseth as a roadblock. Replacing him with a hawk like Mike Pompeo or Tom Cotton, names floated in D.C. circles, would pave the way for a U.S.-backed war with Iran, fulfilling Israel's strategic goals but risking American lives and treasure. So for you, here's the real takeaway. Don't just swallow the headlines. When you see a scandal like this, ask who benefits. Hegseth's no angel, but the rush to crucify him reeks of a setup. The real fight isn't about signal chats. It's about whether America gets dragged into another Middle Eastern quagmire. Thanks for watching this clip from the full Kim Iversen Show, which you can check out Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. The show airs live. It is a 1-hour live show Monday through Friday. Just head to KimIversonShow.com. See you there.